Hello, and let's talk here about the rules of the firewalls and how are they working. What do we mean by a rule in the firewall? The rule is the line that specifies for the firewall what to do with the packet. What is the decision that the firewall should take for an inspected packet or inspected series of packets in the traffic? The firewall, once established and once placed inside a network, needs to know what to allow and what to prevent. What type of traffic is good and what type of traffic is not good. What is wanted and what is unwanted. Not every traffic is good for good. Not every traffic is good here and good there. What might be good for a certain network might be bad for another. What might be bad for a certain network might be allowed for another. There is no good traffic for good. There is no bad traffic for good. Every organization and every security specialist responsible for the firewall should determine what is good and what is bad for his network according to the assets, according to the threats, according to the vulnerabilities, according to the functionality of this organization. Either it is educational, training, financial organization, or military, or something that is belonging to the security authority. Let's say that the firewall rule controls the decision of the firewall on inspected traffic, either to accept this traffic or to reject it, to allow it inside my network or to ban it from inside my network. The rule controls what happens when a packet does not match an existing rule. Which rule? This is exactly the default rule. By default, the firewall is either accepting traffic or rejecting traffic. If you by default will accept all traffic, then you should specify through the rules configuring this firewall what traffic to reject. And vice versa. If you will reject all the traffic, then you should specify through the rules of your firewall what traffic to accept. If you choose your default rule to be denied, then your firewall will be more restrictive, will be more cautious and more sensitive to any traffic. It will prevent all the traffic from entering your network and allow the traffic that are matching the rules below, the rules configuring this firewall. If you choose to be default allow as the default rule, then you will be more permissive, you will be more flexible. Then your firewall will accept all the traffic except what is matching the rules that are saying which packets and which traffic to reject. The default rule and its choice is very important. Why? Because the effect of the default rule is very efficient and very obvious on your security posture. If you choose to be default deny, this helps protect against previously unknown attacks or vulnerabilities. What does this mean? There are some types of attacks that are called zero-day attacks or zero-day vulnerabilities. These attacks that appeared today, that were invented today, that are striking the world today. So we don't know exactly as security officers the nature, the type of this attack, and what are the criteria we should put inside the configuration of the firewall to protect from this attack. So if you choose your firewall to be default deny, to be denying by default any traffic, then this would be very helpful for the zero-day attacks and zero-day vulnerabilities. Then you will be safe from this point of view. But it is not a golden rule to be default allow, or it is not a golden rule to be default deny. Why? I can give you an advice to be default allow, or your rule to be default allow if your organization is educational or training organization, because it needs to be flexible. Students inside your organization needs to be exposed to the traffic, to all the websites, to all the world on the internet, and needs to be restricted only to some things that are 100% evil, 100% unwanted. If your organization is security authority or a bank, then every attack would be of great damage, would be of great danger. So you would prefer your default rule to be default deny, to be protected from any unknown attack, from zero-day attacks and vulnerabilities, and to allow only what is good by 100%, to allow only what you are sure that it would not cause any damage, because any strike or any damage may be of great harm and of great impact on your network. Let's have an example of the firewall rules. An example here, it is a simple example written in the C code or in a code of the programming language that is called C, or you do not need to know C or Java or any programming language to understand this. It's very simple. It says that if the source IP equals 163.121.25.10 and the destination IP equals 163.121.11.12, these are inspected inside the header of the packet, in addition to the source port and destination port. If the source port equals 2050, the destination port equals 80, then accept this packet. So the firewall would have now a rule saying that if the source IP equals so and so, destination IP equals so and so, source port equals so and so, and destination port equals so and so, then you can accept this packet, allow it to enter from your external network to your internal network. Another rule might be contradicting this. You might think that if the source IP equals so and so, destination IP equals so and so, source port equals so and so, and destination ports equals so and so, then reject this packet. Do not allow this packet to enter from your external network to your internal network. These are two examples for, of course, they are not on the same firewall. Either this or that would exist on the firewall. These are two examples of a firewall rule to demonstrate what a rule means. It's a condition and an action, a criteria and a decision. If so and so, then take such decision. If so and so, then take the other decision. Let's here say that the action of the firewall is responsible of two types of traffic. The ingress traffic, which is the traffic that is entering your network. That is called the incoming traffic. That is entering your network coming from the internet. And this traffic may contain malicious and evil and unwanted packets, so you are responsible to allow only addresses that do not belong to the protected net or reserved range are allowed in onto the protected net, which means that it is unlogic that you allow a packet coming from the internet having a source IP belongs to your protected net. How come? Is it coming from outside or coming from inside? If it is coming from outside, why does it have the source IP address as an IP address belonging to the range of my protected net? It here should be malicious. It here should be something fake, something unreal, and something suspicious that should be banned from the network and should be avoided from our network and should and should be rejected and configured the firewall to reject it. The egress traffic, it's the outgoing traffic, and some security officers fall in a very big mistake. I'm responsible only, he says to himself, that I'm responsible only of the ingress traffic, which is more important. No, the egress traffic is as important as the ingress. They are equally important. You are responsible as a security officer of protecting others from the intentional or accidental attacks that are happening inside your network and may affect the outside of your network. You should protect also your machines from the traffic generated from them going to the outside of the network. It could claim that your machines are infected, generating unwanted traffic, flooding the network with unwanted traffic, and it can say that you are infected by a virus or a worm. So for the egress or the outgoing traffic, you can say that only addresses that belong to the protected network are allowed out onto the internet. It has no meaning that you say I will allow this packet to get outside from my network to the internet and its source IP does not belong to my range. Why would you allow this? You may cause some damage, you may cause some problem to the outside of the network, or you may think that your inside machines are infected and are generated fake packets and fake traffic and unwanted traffic that you need to clean them, or you need to think again of the security posture of your network. This is how the firewall is in action and how the firewall is acting inside your network to protect the inside network from outside attackers and the outside network from the inside attackers. Let's have a look at the managed access. If we have a network that is composed of my protected net and the internet, you should think of allowing only connections on port 25 of type TCP to your mail servers. Allow connections only of type TCP and port number 80 as destination port to your web server. Allow connections either TCP or UDP and port number 53 to your DNS server. These are the only connections allowed into your demilitarized zone. Other connections can be banned and can be denied and rejected by the firewall if inspected arriving from the internet to your protected net. Thank you.